Welcome to Horror Dork Live. I'm Anthony, and joining me today is Mr. Sir.
Hello, what's up?
So, we're going to be talking about 2022's Nope, directed by Jordan Peele, starring, I should have taken better notes.
Kiki Palmer,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I don't remember the guy from
Oh,
Get Out.
yeah. Tough name, too. It's like a lot of consonants and a lot of vowels.
Yes, he's really good. I like him.
Hmm.
He's always good.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
And
good in Black Panther.
he is good. He wasn't in the sequel, though.
No, nope.
Yeah, because he was like T'Challa's best friend or something, right? In that movie?
Yeah, well, he kind of betrayed him.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but
Yeah. But so if you didn't read the notes of the show, the basic gist of the movie is about a man and a sister who discover something very terrifying in the skies above their ranch in California.
yes,
And also, there's a rancher who is trying to, I don't know, market the thing.
yeah, he's trying to like wrangle.
Yeah, he's
He's
trying to
trying
make money
to
off of the spectacle of
yes,
it, which we'll get
yes,
into a lot more because that whole thing ties into this movie.
yes, it does.
So, um, but when was the first time that you watched this movie?
I saw it last year, pretty much as soon as it went on demand. I didn't get to see it in theaters. I really, honestly, after I saw it, I really would have liked to see it in theaters. It's a very cool looking
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. I'm really disappointed that I didn't get to see it in theaters. I waited a while. Like I didn't watch this movie until last spring,
Oh, okay.
maybe like May or June.
Oh, well, that's when it came out. It came out in 2012, 2022.
It was like 3 or 4 months after it hit
Oh, okay.
on
I
demand and
gotcha.
stuff.
I gotcha.
Like I bought the movie, I just never popped it in, and I
I,
always meant to. It just a million things to watch,
right, right, right.
you
I'm such a big Jordan Peele fan. I wanted to, and I was excited about the premise of it. A UFO movie, made by the guy that did Get Out and
Us.
Us. Yeah. And the it
He
had a
really
really good
does.
marketing.
His movies really are. They're just instantly able to turn into a "Who's on first" joke
Yeah.
completely.
uh, yeah, I was very impressed with this movie. It's has a lot of pardon me. It does a lot of it has a lot of stuff in it. Like you think the thing is one, you think the UFO or whatever is one thing. It turns out it's another. You think it's one kind of movie, and then it switches into like there's a couple spots where it becomes kind of like there's jump scares and stuff, like a traditional horror movie. But then it kind of turns into like a big monster movie near the end. Um,
So this movie tricked you out a bunch.
it didn't really trick me, but it's not like when you like watching a Shyamalan movie or whatever. It just kind of you're just like, oh, okay, I get it now. It makes more what's happening makes more sense now. Now that there's like a slightly more grounded explanation for what's going on.
Yeah, there's not really a twist in this movie. There is actually, I guess,
Right? Yeah, a
but it's
little bit,
not
but not
earth
really.
shattering.
No,
It's
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 satisfying.
naturally, yeah. It
Yeah,
it just naturally occurs, and they drop like, damn. Like I love when movies do that, where they don't try to hide their twist. They don't try
yeah.
to outsmart the audience.
No,
Jordan Peele doesn't care if you get it before it gets there because it doesn't matter.
no, it doesn't matter because the movies are very rewatchable as well. Like a lot of those movies that are predicated on a twist. Once you know what the twist is, the movie kind of loses some of its appeal. Not all the time, but the ones that are like whatever. You know, once the twist is over, the gimmick's done, and you're kind of done with the movie. But nope, and Us and Get Out all have there's reveals in it where you you're not sure what's going on, and there's like a mystery aspect to it. And in this one, the mystery aspect is what is going on? What is this thing in the sky? What is hiding in the cloud? How can it do it? Why is it there? What's
Yep.
going on? Um, what killed Keith David in the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
gets killed by a
It,
nickel that is dropped from
I
the
thought it was a
sky.
key. No, yeah, it's his nickel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The keys in
There's
the
a key
horse.
sticking out of the horse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's some really cool effects in this movie as well. Before we get into all of that, when you watch this for the first time, because when I watched this for the first time, I had no idea what to expect, and
Neither
all
did
of a
I.
sudden, this movie opens up on well, you hear voices going on in the background,
Yeah,
like
it sounds like a
there,
sitcom.
yeah, there's a voiceover for the audio bridges into a sitcom, but which you learn about later. But basically, one of the characters in this movie, his nickname's Jupe. Um, he was involved as a child actor on a sitcom where,
Life with Gordy,
yeah, Life with Gordy, where the main
titular
character,
character.
titular character, yeah, 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 yeah. I like that.
The titular
Um,
character Gordy is an ape, is a chimp.
chimpanzee,
Yeah,
yeah, and he goes nuts
yes,
and destroys and kills most of the cast and crew.
yeah. And he is. You find out later he was spared. Um, be, well, we'll talk about more of that when we once we get to that part of the movie.
Okay,
But like, yeah, it opens so strongly, and you're not sure what's going on. And before we even get to that, I just wanted to drop this little cool tidbit that I found out while I was watching it. The Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw logo is like the stop motion thing, and I found out that was animated by Henry Selick, who he recently collaborated with on his new movie Wendell and Wild, which I watched. It's really good. It's a nice like PG-13 animated movie. It's not like a kids movie, but it's like all ages kind of thing. It's got some um the Wendell and Wild are played by Key and Peele, and they eat hair cream stuff and they trip balls on them.
oh really?
Yes. That's in the movie. It's like it's pretty funny.
So
I
it's
like
live
it.
action and becomes animated.
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
stop motion the whole movie. It's a fully stop motion thing. Yeah, I think Henry Selick learned his lesson with going live action with Monkey Bone.
Oh,
I like
why?
Monkey
What's
Bone.
wrong with
Monkey
Monkey
Bone's
Bone?
a goofy movie, but he got really boned. He got monkey boned by Fox with that one.
Yeah.
They like switched. There was like a
And not
switching
the
of the
studio,
guards.
the animal.
Yes, a fox came in and
Monkey
really
boned
gave
him.
it to him.
Yeah. He's never been right since.
Anyway, speaking of Monkey Bone, so it opens with this cold open of Gordy's the aftermath. He's just covered in blood and everything, and the it looks really good. It's a CGI motion capture kind of thing, but it looks really good. They didn't use a real chimp for
No, they
obvious
had a
reasons.
guy that was on like stilts.
Yeah. Motion, yeah, use like motion capture and stuff to
Yeah.
like do it.
But not, yeah, like the newer technology though.
Yeah,
Because
where
like
they do the
back in the
scan,
day they
not with
used
like
to
all the
have
little
their
golf
bulbs and
balls. Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
they have like a thing that scans people and stuff now.
yeah. AI,
Yeah,
artificial intelligence, which heavily features in, no, it
it
doesn't.
does no.
Thankfully. So I don't even know if this is a term that people really throw around too much anymore because I haven't heard it in forever. But would you consider this postmodern horror?
A little bit. Like it definitely defies your expectations.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like it starts out with like
It's
the
almost like a
mystery
reverse
thing.
postmodern horror, though. Like they have to
They
get
yeah
away from new technology to be able to accomplish their end goal, which we'll get to in a little bit here.
yeah yeah. So yeah, that is a good point. Like I didn't really consider that.
I just thought of it. I wasn't like setting you up to,
No, I gotcha. I was
after I
just trying
asked
to.
it.
I don't know. I was just trying to think about. I was just trying to. I was pondering on what you said. I agree. Yeah, it's because I mean, Jordan Peele's movies are all sort of like that, where they'll take like a familiar trope, like Get Out is sort of like the body snatcher trope, and it turns into he made it into like
I mean, like subverting tropes.
yes,
Yeah,
subverting tropes. Yeah, that's what I meant.
yeah,
Um, and this one it subverts your expectations with all the marketing campaign, and his marketing campaigns
That's
are
what I've been
so
trying to
good.
get at this whole time, is what were your expectations going in? I can give you
I
mine
thought
first
it,
if
I
you want.
thought it was going to be aliens, and it was going to be like I wasn't really honestly really sure. I because I didn't look up anything other than I just watched the first trailer, and I tried to avoid all the other trailers. Um, and it didn't really tell you much other than there's likely a like a UFO element. And when I was watching it, that's what I was thinking until you got a closer look at the thing, and then you I was kind of realizing it at like as the main character was that maybe this was not a craft. It was something maybe a little more sentient.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, going into this, the beginning confused me a lot.
Yeah, I mean that was really confusing, and like I thought maybe that had something to do with Jean Jacket and everything, but it upon like once you finish the movie, and when you rewatch the movie, which I'm sure you will because it's a really good movie, and it's once when you rewatch it, you notice things that you didn't really notice in the first time. There's a lot of information that's coming at you, and a lot of it is subtle, um, and you don't really pick up on it. Like there's stuff that I picked up on with um, Jupe's character that I didn't really get the first time.
Okay. You want to go into that?
Yeah, I mean it goes into what we talked about at the beginning with the Gordy thing and the spectacle and him trying to um tame something that can't be tamed. So at a certain point, so the basic gist of how Jupiter gets involved is Keith David was a Hollywood horse wrangler for the for movies and TV shows and commercials and such, and he was killed. You find out later by um, Jean Jacket accidentally, um, and so his kids have to take over the business, and they're not the charismatic business people that he is, and so he has to start selling the horses off from the horse ranch, and Jupiter is one of the guys that's willing to buy them.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting dynamic with um, the main characters because the sister is definitely, she has the charisma,
Oh
but she
yes,
doesn't have the business mindset.
no, she doesn't at all. She's late. She's not helping him when he's obvious. He's like struggling with you know telling these people to stop messing with the horse and the horse. And what gets him fired from the job is there's a guy's doing they're setting up the lighting, and a guy puts a mirror in the horse's face, which freaks it out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're setting up the lighting for the green screen. It was a mirror ball.
Yeah, yeah, which comes back, which again, like everything in this movie, there's nothing is done on accident, and that comes back later as something that a piece of information that helps. I wish I could remember the character's name as well, the main guy.
Oh yeah.
Um, but anyways, so when they're talking business with Jupiter, played by Stephen Chow from Walking Dead, or Stephen Chow from Walking Dead. He plays what was this character's name?
Glenn
Glenn. Yeah,
in
he
Walking
plays
Dead. You
Glenn
mean?
in
Yeah.
Walking Dead. Um, so they're the sister played by Kiki Palmer recognizes him, and he he of course is go he's of course doesn't want to talk business anymore. All he wants to talk about is his career because he's a fame hound, and
It's not even
he
so much like I would argue. It's not even so much that he's a fame hound. Like he's living his nightmare over and over, and he doesn't know how to get out of it.
right.
You know,
Okay.
look at the town that he built. Like he was a kid that starred in a western. I mean, it wasn't a western, but it was like a Goonies western movie.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and it made him super famous.
Right. So he had to lean into it whether or not he
Well,
liked
like
it or
he
not.
builds this. It's like he can never get away from what happened to him as a kid because now he's built this town that's almost like a prison.
Well, part of what I want to get into is I think what happened to him as a kid is he brought away the wrong lesson from it. So
For sure.
he has this hidden display room as this like this grim homage to this show,
Yeah, it's some weird form of catharsis for him.
and he has on display a fake Mad magazine, which looks incredible. It looks like a Mad magazine from the 90s. Um, and it's got Alfred E. Newman as Gordy on it with blood all over him, and he has this framed. And how he tells it is he recaps a Saturday Night Live sketch um, that they did with Chris Kattan, but also placing the time of frame when
Yeah,
it
it
happened.
was interesting the actors he named. It was like Arnott
Yeah,
Gasteyer, Daryl Hammond as the dad,
yeah, it was like 1996,
Sherry O'Terry as the
97 era of Saturday Night
as
Live.
Mary or whatever,
And
Mary
I
Lou,
don't remember
and
who the
Scott
celebrity.
Wolf.
Scott Wolf, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, also placing it
super '90s.
squarely in 1996
Yeah.
as the host, and he played Jupe. And how he tells it is, "Oh, it just happened exactly like that." The He's talking about the jungle, and he went crazy, and that's it. But then they show the scene later, and that is absolutely not what happened at all. It was harrowing.
Well, I think he was trying to hint at that. He was sort of like a, you know, Gordy is a wild beast that was taken into captivity. And it's not just Gordy. They used multiple chimpanzees, but this one chimp in particular that would play Gordy sometimes, um, he something happens, and whether it reminds him of a gunshot or whatever, but
The balloons started popping,
it
and he went
reminds him
numb.
of something of being back in the jungle, and it causes something in his brain to snap. It's hinted at. It's not
Yeah,
never
yeah.
said.
I mean, it's the Gordy thing is sort of based on real things that have happened to people that have had chimps as pets.
Well, not
Um,
just chimps. Look at like the movie Roar
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
with Tippy Hedren,
That movie's
Efren,
that movie's messed up.
yeah, Melanie Griffith.
They used real animals, and then a lot of the
She had
actors
that
got
safari.
yeah, and a lot of the actors got mauled and
Yeah.
stuff on set. But yeah, these animals chimps especially once they reach maturity, they turn into teenagers. They're sort of like teenagers, human teenagers, and they're hormonal, and they can be very unpredictable. So all the balloons popping made Gordy go nuts, and he killed people. He like brutally he ripped the face off of the
He
young
didn't rip it.
co-star.
He didn't rip it off. He ate it off.
Yeah, he ate it off. I mean, that is also something that straight up happened to somebody's friend who had a pet chimp. They to make him relax, they would give him Xanax and wine. And one day, like he just didn't like the lady's friend, and he snapped and ripped her face off. They ended up shooting him in the streets. But and that's what they do to Gordy. But Gordy is like making his way through everybody. There's the guy that's the dad is yelling at him that he's a sick animal, and Gordy just beats the crap out of him. And then
Well, the dad is hiding upstairs on
yeah,
the set, and
he's trying to escape.
when Gordy's eating the girl's face, the dad looks at that as a opportunity to sneak out of the set.
Yeah,
And then Gordy comes around the corner, and the dad tries to calm him down by intimidating him. I don't understand what the dad was thinking there. He's just acting pure on adrenaline.
yeah, and he got folded like laundry.
Yeah, and it's a fight or flight, and he tries to flight, and he can't
Nope,
outrun the dad
not against a chimp. Those things are strong as hell. And so Gordy turns and looks.
because the whole time Jupe is hiding under a
He's
table.
hiding under a table, but his eye line is covered by a red like table cover. It's like cloth, so it's see through, but it obscures his eyes. And what I sort of got from that is, as long as you're not making eye contact with the thing, he's not doesn't really see him as threatening or whatever.
It's not even that. I mean, yeah, it is. I had a similar thought myself, but on my latest rewatch of it, it's almost it's almost more metaphorical for like there's just a thin veil really that separates Jupe from Gordy as a
Yeah, I
character.
mean, yeah,
And Gordy sees something in Jupe that he identifies with. He doesn't look at
he,
Gordy
he
as
goes he goes
or he
to
doesn't
give the
yeah,
fist bump, which is like the
the
iconic thing.
the first
With
fist bump in movie history,
yeah,
according to Jupe.
yes, that was so and the fact that you when you see he's got like this huge frame thing of the first time that they did it, and then you see him, and then you see the last time that they did it is when he was about to do it, and then the cops come in and RoboCop him. They give
Well,
him the
yeah, they
Alex Murphy treatment. They
well
just
they snipe him from they don't he gets shot once.
So, but the whole time this is happening, there's a shoe that's just kind of sitting upright, and he has this shoe with that has blood on the tip of it in his office. And as you're going on, you learn that Jupe is trying to wrangle this thing and use it as
Well, the alien.
yes, the
I
jean
don't even think we
jacket.
got into the spoiler yet.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, do you want to get into
Yeah,
that?
yeah, because basically you discover that this UFO is not a piloted ship, it's a creature.
It's a monster.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's alien. Like, what I think happened is
Didn't it
there's
take off though at the end?
no, it blew up at the end.
I thought I thought in the background it like formed and shot off.
Maybe I
I don't
didn't.
know.
I What I thought happened is because there's a mountain, and the government was started drilling in there, and whatever, and it woke up whatever was in there, and they opened it up, and then that got out. So they think so at first there's a military base that they can't go into, and they start seeing stuff flying around in the sky. You're thinking aliens. I mean, and the people, the main characters think it's aliens as well, as they should. And it turns out it's a big circular creature that is sucking up things, eating the organic material very slowly. It's really messed up when they show it eating people, and it spits out the inorganic stuff
So
like metal.
what they did for that, if you watch the special features on Nope, is they had a sideways track and they built like the intestinal wall and stuff.
Right.
And they just had a track that moved the people up through the stomach
It was
sideways.
so cool
This whole
looking.
thing shot in IMAX.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's really
64
dynamic
yeah,
looking.
64 millimeter, I think. I don't know what
So
versions of IMAX are.
where I was getting at with Jupe is um he after the thing with Gordy, I think that when he has the shoe and everything, he has that on display. What I think that signifies is he thinks he is above it. He thinks he can win whatever. He thinks that
Hmm.
because of what he went through and he lived, he was spared. He survived, and he thinks he can tame the animals. He tamed the horses. He thinks he can tame Jean Jacket. Jean Jacket is what they call the monster.
Because it was one of the
One of
horses.
the horses that was untamable, according to Keith David.
Well, that's what they say that.
Yeah, that's what he says. They
But
got rid of him.
At that point, Keith David's character has been killed. Um, the interesting thing about the shoe is it's like
It's an
it's
anomaly, and I
yeah,
think he thinks like
it's like a yeah, it's like a phenomenon that's
like
occurring
he
amongst this
like he
horrible
was
situation.
protected, and he thinks I don't know. It like gives him like with that, and he's got like that actor thing where he also has like this "I'm above it all" kind of attitude. You don't really see it right away, but once you get to know the character a little better and see why he's been buying all these horses and stuff as well, you you start to see he's a little more villainous than he lets on. He's not like a total bad guy, but he does get like 40 something people killed by his hubris.
So I'm not 100% sure that the shoe necessarily signifies that myself, but I will 100%, well, I will 100%. I will agree with you on the fact that he definitely feels, and I think you're right, he feels that he can relate to or have a connection with Jean Jacket because of what happened with Gordy, where that bond was able to be formed between the two of them, where he was
Right.
spared. Um, I don't know that the shoe, because what happens is when all this is going on, when Gordy's going crazy and everyone's being attacked, is it Mary Beth's shoe? Is that
Yes. Yeah.
her shoe is standing straight up, like it's something that should be impossible is possible at that
Right.
moment. Um, and I'm still not, my kind of takeaway from it is,
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what you
eh,
think because I mean that
and I'm not
confound
saying you're wrong.
no, and that confounded me the first time I watched it, and that's like after like a couple viewings, that's sort of what I took away from it. But I'm interested in hearing
I just
what you
kind of
say.
took it away as being like, as, because that shoe is in the center of the opening shot of the film. And there's no focus on it. It's in the background. And it kind of seemed like a metaphor to me that there's stuff with physics or science or whatever, just in the natural world that exists that we don't understand and don't think can happen, that
Right.
happens, which is what you get with Jean Jacket later in the
Yeah, I
movie.
mean it's a living creature that seemingly defies gravity. Can just like hover in the air and hide in a cloud
And
and like
create
create a
EMPs.
cloud. Yeah, and create
So even if that
EMPs.
thing was living down there for millions of years or whatever,
Right.
thousands of years, whatever, it still is able to affect electromagnetism.
I think that's sort of like how it's able to like fly.
Could be.
It like disrupts like static electricity or something in it, and that's
I
how
think
it's
that
able
thing's
to
mostly
fly.
air though. It's like less dense.
Yeah.
I think by being able to push air out and stuff, it can push itself up and down.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But it's weird because it also has. Do you notice all the different noises this thing makes? And I didn't get this myself. I got this from the um, special
Yeah,
features.
it's like a howl. It's like howling noises, but then when it sucks up stuff, you can hear the people's like screaming and stuff inside
Yeah,
of it.
this
It's so cool
it's
sounding.
the sound design on this is phenomenal. The thing also makes like an echolocation noise. Like a,
Oh, that
do you
makes
remember that?
sense.
Like when
It doesn't because it doesn't have
after,
eyes.
yeah, after Jupe and all of the people that he brought to witness the spectacle get sucked up. The main character goes there and it's making that noise when it's flying through the sky because it knows he's around there somewhere and
Right.
it's using Lucky the horse as bait
Yeah.
because the main character went back there to get his horse back.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna get back lucky.
Did he figure out what Jupe was up to? I mean, why did he go back to get Lucky? I don't remember.
He does. He realizes that he's feeding the horses to whatever that thing is.
Yeah,
He realizes like once they realize they he sees the I think what he does is he sees the flyer and then he like kind of he's like, "Oh no, I need to go get the horse now." And it's sort of too late. He saves the horse, but he doesn't save I don't think he would be been able to. He would have just gotten sucked right up into that thing as well.
yeah. Saves the horse and rides a cowboy.
Yeah, and I mean like the cool thing about Jean Jacket is like it abducts people like a UFO does. It looks like a UFO. It does it turns off electronics around it like UFO lore says it does as well. Um, this is a very cool monster. And then at the end, it turns into like a total kaiju thing, and it has like a second form, and it becomes like this huge. It just like unfurls
Just for the viewer or listener that doesn't know what a kaiju is.
a big, giant like Godzilla, big huge monster.
Yeah, it's a Japanese word.
Yes.
I mean, I was assuming, so I didn't want to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just flat out state it.
Yeah, it's a big monster. It's kaiju. Yeah. So Jean Jacket turns into like this big fucking flowery monster
Yeah,
thing.
so they had
I know we're skipping over a lot of stuff, but I
yeah, it's
mean,
all right. But they had a couple different designs. They used a few different artist designs, and then I can't remember if it was orchids or but like a particular flower they mixed in with the design, and I think
that checks out.
yeah.
It looks like
So
a flower.
the special features on this disc are there's not a ton of them, but like the behind the scenes thing that I watched is pretty cool. I just wish that I mean I didn't watch all the special features, but I watched the making of or whatever.
Okay.
It was pretty fun. And actually there's a whole sequence where it goes into the town. Like
Oh,
they
the
built that thing.
Jupiter's Claim,
Yeah.
which is his little. It's like a old west like town amusement park kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And they were looking to film in something anywhere
Yeah.
and they ended up having to build it, which is so cool, you know.
One part of the movie that I want to talk about is so the two main characters are trying to do at once they realize what's going on is they want to get a picture of this thing and like a good picture of it, some video, something of it, so they would be able to have some sort of proof. And that's how they discovered that it's an that it's a cloud that it's hiding in a cloud that just never moves because it's such a cool reveal when they're watching when they're watching back the surveillance footage and the guy that sets it up he becomes like part
Angel.
of their team. Yeah, Angel. He becomes like a part of their crew accidentally.
So, well,
Well, no, not accidentally. He makes himself a
it's
part of their
it,
crew.
it is it is by chance they happen to get him when they're checking out with that equipment.
Yeah, and I mean
I know what you're saying.
we've all had like an experience with like a guy at when you're checking out of like a store and like the clerk is a little too talkative. But this guy like invites himself over, he helps them set up all the cameras and everything, but then he once they start he's asked they're asking questions about, you know, like like cell phone batteries like suddenly going out and stuff. He's like, "That's not possible." Then he like kind of puts the pieces together and realizes that they're trying to find a UFO or aliens.
Yeah.
But so in search of that, they get a cinematographer guy that was working on the commercial that they blew earlier in the movie, and he's reluctantly agrees to help them. Um, I don't how does he know what is going on? I don't
So
really pick I didn't really pick up on his deal.
Kiki Palmer called him. Well, her character called him when he's working at his editing station, slicing film, splicing it together, and she kind of blows the interview, but she says enough to intrigue him.
Yeah,
Um,
she says it's for a reality show, and he's like instantly like, ugh.
well, she says reality.
Yeah,
And she's trying to say
he
like
says,
what,
and then her brother's like, documentary,
yeah, because like
documentary.
that's the word that she's
Yeah,
trying to.
because he's the more business minded guy. He knows
Yeah,
what to say, but he's not good at saying
yeah, yeah.
it.
So, but the conversation just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't go anywhere. But there's enough planted where you're not sure if he's on board or not.
Right,
So then he drives out there, and he knows that they're not full of shit because he's just watching the horizon without being told what's going on or anything.
right,
He's watching the horizon and he notices that there is a cloud that doesn't move at all.
right. He's like, no shit, it's there.
Yeah.
So he brings with him a camera that runs off of a crank. It doesn't need batteries.
Yeah, no, it's his old school film
Right.
hand crank camera.
And that gives us our little bit of found footage, a little found footage segment a little later when he sac quote unquote sacrifices himself to get the money shot. However, what he's doing is he's trying to steal the glory from those two. It's like That's how I sort of took it away.
I
Like the white
just
guy comes in and tries to steal credit
maybe,
from them.
maybe, but I just see him just being so captivated in what's going on because when he's on the phone having that conversation, he talks about the mountain and she's like, "What?" And he's like, That's what I've been trying to figure out my whole life." So like this isn't his moment for like I don't know, he because when she tells him it's the opportunity of a lifetime, he doesn't seem interested. He kind of makes a dismissive thing, almost implying he doesn't have a lot of time left.
Right.
And what I think is happening is this is a real moment, something that he's because he's remember he has all the footage of the animals that he's doing as
Yeah.
like his side project or whatever, his own
Yes.
personal interest. So he sees a predator in the wild, and he's just captivated by this. And I just don't think he can help himself. He has to film this thing.
Right.
And
Okay.
he hasn't gotten any good footage of it on the other camera.
Gotcha.
That's how I took it.
I gotcha.
But I mean, it could be a little both, or I could be way off.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. Like I just didn't know like
What
I
the point of the character
yeah,
is.
like why he
I almost think the character
what
was
his
kind of
motivations were. Like it
so.
just didn't that was like the one part that didn't seem totally clear to me.
So here's the interesting thing. Jordan Peele was working with Hoyt von Hoyt or whatever his name is, and he's a really renowned cinematographer. This character almost feels like a little bit of an homage to him,
Okay.
like
He did, you know, he felt like he was based on somebody. And like I'm not really familiar with cinematographers, so I wasn't sure if he was
I
but
don't
like
know enough
he
about.
feels like like he's
Don't
doing
quote
an
me on
impression
that,
on of somebody.
but that's just kind
I'm
of
quoting you
I
on
thought
that.
maybe
I'm marking your words.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought maybe that was a I'll sign it once you get it all filled out. I thought maybe that
Get it
was
notarized.
a possibility,
Okay,
but I don't know enough about the real life person.
gotcha.
Um,
It turns out he was eaten by a giant monster.
but only sexually, so he's still alive. Um, so rewatching this, I don't know why. Every time I've seen this, it's probably what the fourth or fifth time I've watched this movie.
Same.
I think that like going into this viewing, and I just watched it a couple days ago, and then I watched it again earlier today. I really thought Angel bit the dust.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
No.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
he wrapped himself up in barbed wire
I
so he
think just
wouldn't.
because he disappears at the end of the movie and doesn't show back up.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. No.
Because I remember when he's getting sucked up and he's attached to the fence and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I really like this character. It sucks he dies.
No,
It's-
he smartly like gets
my
wrapped up in
brain
barbed
erased it
wire.
though. It's weird.
Yeah, man. Do you have any other thoughts on the movie you wanted to touch on?
Yeah. So by far the most intrinsic character. Why can I not talk? That's what I want to know.
Because you got a microphone in front of you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. By far the most unique character I feel in this movie, and by what you said, I feel like you agree with me. It's Jupe.
Yeah.
Does it feel almost mean when he's at the spectacle and he has Mary Beth there? He talks about her being his first crush, but her face is like all mauled. She got a veil on. She got a glove on her right hand because she's missing skin off it,
It feels a little mean, but it also like I don't know because it feels
and she's
I
wearing a
don't know
shirt with her face on it.
it.
I don't know if
I
that's his
don't know.
decision as a character or hers, but
I feel like that was hers, but like it's so funny that she survived the animal attack, and then
how awful.
he
Yeah,
invites her to an even worse animal attack with even more casualties.
yeah. And now, as agonizing as the first death would have been, this was far worse because it's just a
Oh
slow
yeah,
torture.
slowly digesting. Like you see him get all sucked up in there, and when they're like getting like oozed up, like all crunched up in there, they're getting like squished past like skeletons.
Yeah.
horse skeletons and stuff.
Is that what that is when the wife Jupe's wife stops when she's getting sucked up the track? Because she stops and there's something right above her head. I didn't know if that was like a stomach stone or something or what.
I think maybe it's just yeah, maybe it's just like that's where it ends.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was more like how the Sarlacc pit digests stuff, but like more fast. Just like it had just like the stomach acids and everything, just kind of mush it.
There's a kaiju fight of the century.
The
Sarlacc
Sarlacc
versus
pit
Jean
versus
Jacket.
Jean Jacket. Yeah.
Um, also, I really, really, really like the way um the actor portrays the main character in this movie.
Yes. Oh yeah. He's very like low key, subtle. Um, I he does such a good job. Very
Yeah,
different character than Get Out, who's like a very charismatic, outgoing, friendly guy.
yeah.
And
Still a little low energy, but just completely different. And he
yeah,
it's almost like the whole time he just has his attitude like fuck it. He's like I'm in a bad situation. This sucks, but I can't do anything about it, you know?
yes, yep. He's a guy that's like he's frustrated because his sister isn't helping him, and he's having to sell his father's life and his what was supposed to be his life, and it also doesn't feel like that's the life he wants. He doesn't really feel like he wants to do the Hollywood thing. He wants to just have be a
Yeah,
farmer
it's almost like
or whatever.
he's kind of just never made a real decision for himself, and now that he has to, like you were saying, he's struggling with it
Yeah,
because he always had his dad to tell him how things were going to be, what they were going to do, where they were going to go.
he's business minded, but he's not creative. And his sister has like 9
Oh, I
jobs.
don't know about that. I think he's pretty creative.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. He is he's creative in like that in like a
Well, we
way
don't get enough of the business stuff
that's
to
true.
know for sure, but we know like
It's failing. That's all that we know
he's not
about
the
it.
face of it.
No, no, he's not the
It's like at the point of failing, and
yeah,
it could have been there before even he took it over.
that's true. And that is sort of hinted at because he's like, "Oh, maybe they'll bring us back for the sequel or whatever," and he rolls his eyes or whatever. And I mean, it sounds like it was always like sort of like a crapshoot, anyways. Um, because he was like when he's talking about the first job that he went on, and the sister is jealous. He's like, it wasn't a western; it was the Scorpion King,
Yeah.
and they ended up using camels.
So one that I'm glad you brought
Oh
that up.
yeah, one of the lines the Angel says fucking cracks me up when he's like, "Fucking CW." He's like mad about
Oh,
his
because his
girlfriend.
girlfriend leaving him.
Left him to go on a CW show.
Yeah.
Fucking CW.
So there's a super super interesting dynamic that ties into like viewpoint and the reality of this film. So we get this dynamic with the sister who thinks she knows how the world is and how the world works, and that her brother's old fashioned and stuck in these old ways and can't progress.
Yeah.
And he's not really stuck in these old ways, but he's just so level headed. He doesn't look into the future of what could be or what might be, just what is. And this allows him to actually see this thing for what it really is.
Yeah.
And no other
I,
character can do this in this movie.
I saying that he wasn't creative wasn't like the correct
You meant with the
what.
business aspect,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Because he's
But like it,
very creative in taking down Jean Jacket. He's the one that pretty much figures out, that it's a thing, that how to, sort of manipulate the animal using stuff that he learned with the horses and to like get it to, and learned like how to track it using the wavy arm inflatable tube man guys.
yeah, 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 yeah. That was such a
It
cool touch.
was. And they used the fake horse's bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was also
And like, but because he did that, he was able to figure out that if they had those ribbons, it would kind of scare Jean Jacket away a little bit.
yeah.
But that big boy, well, it's not a big boy, but it looks like a big boy. Balloon has
Yeah,
that thing on it,
yeah, it's
but it's under him.
right.
Because I was like, why would it go after it? But I was like, maybe because it's under it, it doesn't see the.
Yeah, well, and also, like, it was, like, doing, like, the furling thing, it was, like, trying to intimidate it, like a big kaiju fight that it tried to eat it, and it blew up, and Jean Jacket got messed up by that.
Got popped.
Yep. Got you, and Kiki Palmer ended up getting a good shot of it on the crank camera that was like the novelty thing on at the Jupes claim. It was like it looks like a well.
What an interesting place to put a camera.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's cool looking, like, and it was interesting how they incorporated it. Another cool thing they incorporated was a Kaneda bike slide that she does when she's sliding in to go
Like
in
Akira
there.
style.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She does. It was literally the fucking Kaneda bike slide. It was really. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Jordan Peele, you get it.
Get it.
You know what you're doing.
I hope so. I don't think it's a fluke he made 3 phenomenal movies.
He's got another one that's supposed to come out next Christmas, and I wonder if it's going to be a Christmas movie.
Yeah, well, when did this release? Was this on Christmas?
This was,
Or did Us release on Christmas?
um,
Around
I
there?
want to say Us was like spring.
Okay. Hard to
That's when
remember.
I watched it, at
It's hard to
least.
remember. Did you notice Oz Perkins?
No,
He's at
who
the
was?
commercial scene.
Oh, okay.
He's the what I don't know what the guy's character's name is, but dude, I recognized him. To be fair, I didn't recognize him the first time.
Was he the guy that was like the not the director guy, but
Yeah,
like?
like the nerdy
Yeah, yeah.
assistant.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that you're right.
Yeah,
I did. I was like
I,
that
I
guy
had to
looks
do it.
really
Yeah, I had to
familiar.
do a double take. I'm like, is that Oz Perkins? I mean, I love Oz Perkins too. Like, I love all his movies. As just and his acting is good. I just
He showed up in he's got a run in this show that my wife watches, Chicago MD. He plays like a head doctor on
does
the
he?
show. Yes.
Yeah, that's very
He's like
fitting
a
for his
and
character
he's
type.
like a dickish like dweeby doctor guy that's like
I feel
a
like he always
douche.
plays like a borderline douche.
He's got that look about him, and like he's sort of short too, so like I don't know, like guys that look like that are good at playing those kinds of guys. There's that guy in The Wire that plays he's always a lawyer. He's always like a scumbag Weasley lawyer. He's Anton what's his name's lawyer, and he's also in Law and Order as a lawyer. And he also is a scumbag.
I don't remember, but what I was gonna say is Oz. Oz Perkins has a movie in post production right now. That FBI movie or whatever he's making with like the
I
cult.
didn't know that.
Oh, it looks super cool. Like it sounds super cool. I haven't seen any stills or nothing
FBI
from it.
and they're investigating a cult.
Well, it ends up being tied into a cult,
Oh, okay.
and just with Oz Perkins' style, I can just I don't know. It seems like an Oz Perkins movie.
That
Yeah,
sounds
he's
cool.
writing and directing it,
I'll
so
have to,
I'm really excited for that.
yeah, yeah. We'll have to cover that one when it comes out.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming out till next year though. I mean, just
We'll
because
still be doing the show
I
next year,
haven't heard
hopefully.
any
So,
yeah, yeah, knock on wood. I haven't heard any release date information, so I'd be surprised if it comes out in the next 6 months.
gotcha. All right. Um, any other stray thoughts about Nope?
No, and I'm
I
glad you
think
brought up
we
because
talked
I really
about
wanted to
everything.
bring up the dynamic because the brother is influencing the sister's reality because her reality is altered. I think she's almost meant to be like a mirror of what the common consensus is for most people in the United States.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I did it was just phenomenal writing. So I
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. He's
good
he writes
storytelling.
writes a good movie.
Yeah, he writes a good script.
Yeah. God.
Okay,
All right.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Same. I mean, perfect movie. Couldn't ask for anything else. I love it. Definitely check it out. Um, it's on Paramount Plus, I believe, or is it on Peacock? It's on one of those. I don't remember which one it's on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have both of those, and I watched it on one of them.
Just look it up on the Just Watch app.
I think it's probably Peacock because I think there were ads in front of it.
Okay. Very cool. Well, I'm Anthony.
I'm Mr. Sir.
See ya.
Hey.